who had led most of the way last weekend, held on for the victory. Shepard has led the most laps this year of any driver without a win. Alberson, of course, looking for his first series win of the year. Tyler Bruning won the opening race at Golden Isle. So what about Carson Ferguson? That would be a career best victory. He starts 6th here tonight.
Getting word from Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series race director Rick Schwally. There's a few different tire combinations on some of these cars here this evening. A couple drivers went a little soft.
3.
Yep. And just about the rest of the field went hard on the right rear.
4.
Yep, you're absolutely right, Ben.
Yeah, and these guys have been running the same tire rule for a lot of races the past 2 weeks, from Illinois Speed Week to Marshalltown, back on Tuesday night to here. The 2s, 3s on the diagonals, on the right front, the left rear, and the right rear a 3, 4. And DJ James, we've seen some outstanding racing with comers and goers and choices galore.
And that's what makes the sport so great, right? You know, I didn't know that tire choice would be a big key to the race here, but it could be. I do think one big key to this race is going to be the back of the field, lap traffic, and how drivers are able to maneuver that. Eagle Raceway, you see the field starting to take shape in what we like to call one of the prettiest sights in all of racing. This is a salute to you, the greatest race fans in the entire world. We don't have songs to play, we don't have fancy sayings to give, but we do have some pyro to shoot off, and we have got the best dirt late model drivers in the country right here in Nebraska for you tonight, and they're gonna come back around one more time for you, Eagle. How about it, ladies and gentlemen, as they come around? It's the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, and they're coming at you 4 wide.
We came here 1 year ago in July. It was the first national touring race in 20 years, and within less than a year we're back at the biggest paying late model race in the history of this racetrack that opened in 1963. Of course, well known for sprint cars. High Limit will be here coming up in a few weeks, but these dirt late model fans, I mean, we loved I-80. It closed a few years ago, the Kosiski family in Greenwood, Nebraska, but this Eagle Raceway, something else.
It's fun, man.
Yep.
It is a lot of fun as the drivers break out of the 4 wide parade lap, and that means that it's time for us to ask you, the greatest race fans in the world, to please grab your seat. There's a lot of young race fans out there. There's a lot of folks in handicap sections here. They would love to have a good, clean, clear view of the racing action, just like you would as well. Be courteous to your fellow race fans, young and old alike, and let's all enjoy the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series presented by Flow Racing here tonight at Eagle.
And again, the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit here is outside of turn number 1, not in the infield. Garrett Alberson, 1 career win that came at Port Royal last August. Lowered his track record he set here last July that had stood for 20 years, formerly held by Scott Bloomquist. There's Brandon Shepard trying to get in his return to the series, the reigning World of Outlaw Series champion, looking for his first Lucas Oil title this year. And Jonathan Davenport trying to equal Jimmy Owens and Earl Pearson Jr. as the only 4-time series champions in the 21-year history of the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series.
This track rework is going to make things interesting, James, because in one sense, it's going to take them a few laps to get that cushion build up around the outside again, right? They've taken a lot of that away. In another sense, unlike bigger racetracks, you can't afford to go out and just log laps at this place, man. They call it a third mile, and man, it may be a third on the outside, right? It's a tight, high-bank third mile. It's going to be elbows up, 24 cars out there. It's only going to take about 8 to 10 laps for the leaders to catch the back of the field, so you can't really afford to go out there and just log laps either.
Kind of reminds you of a track would be an East Tennessee ride. When you physically, when you get down there and look at it, it is really high-banked. You know, sort of like a Bulls Gap, a Crossville, tracks like that. Maybe not as steep as Tazewell. Kyle Bronson, back-to-back third-place finishes. The last race he won in the Lucas Oil Series was a big one just up the road at I-80, 53,000. That was in 2021, the Silver Dollar Nationals. There's Tyler Bruning, finally got that first National Touring win back in January at Golden Isles in that Infinity by Wells car now. And he and his teammate Mike Marlar, and they're about the Heartbeat Hot Sauce 76. Brandon Overton ran the series 2 years ago. Won the Hunt to Front Super Dirt Series a year ago. Now back in the Lucas Oil Series in the Riggs Motorsports Longhorn factory car.
4 of your top 7 starters looking for their biggest career win. We raced here a year ago. That guy was the guy that was in victory lane, Hudson O'Neal. He's not found victory lane here in Eagle yet this week. He picked up a win at Flow Night in America at Marshalltown just a few days ago. Can he get back to Eagle Raceway victory lane here this evening? And what about Devin Moran, one of the most consistent drivers in the country, but things haven't fallen his way this week. That team, they haven't struggled. He's been fast. He just hasn't had the results to show maybe how good that 99 car is.
It's all about qualifying, Dustin. It used to be when we were tenths of seconds off, it was close, but now it's hundreds of seconds. Goes from either the front row or to the second or third row in a heat race, and it's so hard. Everybody's got good equipment, right? Everybody's got great crews, and we'll see what happens here. Garrett Alberson, biggest win, what, 20,000 at Volusia, back with the Outlaws, back in earlier this year. Ricky Thornton Jr. and Jonathan Davenport, they've got a lot of big checks, don't they, over the years?
They do.
No doubt about it. And it'll wrap up at Eldora coming up October the 17th and 18th. Carl Schwartz Dirt Track World Championship, 100,000 to win. And it's a record $250,000 to win the championship here in 2025.
Jonathan Davenport, 87 career wins with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Ricky Thornton Jr., just really a handful of years.
Seems like a couple of years, right? He's won 50
He's
times.
won 50 times with the Lucas Oil Series, Ben.
Hey guys, no big surprise. Everybody on 4 right rear tires you needed for 75 laps, but 2 guys went with 3 2s on the other corner, a softer, Ricky Thornton Jr. and Brandon Shepard. Everybody else has got 3s everywhere but the right rear. It's a hard and soft tire game. Is it going to pay off for Thornton and Shepard? Lights are down on the speedway.
All right, we're about to find out. Eagle Raceway, we are going to go 75 laps. $50,000 awaits the winner. This is the Malvern Bank High Bank Heist, and they are going to go green flag racing in the Nutrient Solution starting zone in turn number 4.
We are underway. Good start for Garrett Alberson in 58. Ricky Thornton Jr. will take the high route. Davenport in third, then Shepard down the back straightaway. Thornton's going to take the lead here, as we'll officially score it at the line out of turn number 4. The Chandler, Arizona driver out in front here, and the Malvern Bank High Bank Heist.
Garrett Alberson in second, side by side for the third spot. Brandon Shepard's going to get a good run on Jonathan Davenport down the back straightaway. Davenport on the inside, Shep on the outside, Garrett Alberson on the outside. Davenport instead going to take that second spot away from Garrett Alberson. Ricky Thornton Jr. with a good line, a 1 second advantage already, just a couple laps into the Malvern Bank High Bank Heist. You're looking at the battle for third.
Sober Cat Francis Valvoline number 1 through the middle. Shepard trying to make the bid for third here, and he does not. Alberson still has it, 3 in the books. Tyler Bruning right there in 5th, and it's Carson, Ferguson, Moran, No Dorth, Bronson, and the Coleman Farms Racing caution is out, Dustin.
Just 3 laps into this, 72 laps remaining. We have our first Coleman Farms Racing caution flag of the night here with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Ben?
Yeah, I was going to say Dylan Thornton out of the party tonight. He got high out of turn number 4, tried to come down the racetrack after he kissed the concrete. Dylan Silman was right there, and heavy front-end damage on the 38T. Dylan Thornton's weekend comes to an early end.
Boy, tough break for him. He showed so much speed here, James, on Thursday night. Did dilly-dilly as the driver originally out of just outside Santa Maria, California, now calling the Hawkeye State of Iowa home, is going to be done for the night. And that Ricky and Brenda Kai, number 38 team.
Won a heat race, his very first appearance with the series, and ran as high as 2nd in Thursday's night's main event. So 3 in the books, Dustin. It's Ricky Thornton Jr., Jonathan Davenport, Garrett Alberson, Brandon Shepard, Tyler Bruning, your top 5. Well, Dylan Thornton's going to come back out in 38.
When you mentioned it earlier, the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit outside the infield here, just not enough room in the infield to safely stage everyone. So he is going to make his way back out. And then Peterson Insurance, Pit Crew Barbecue, Salty's Barbecue and Catering, Longhorn 38T.
Wrinkled up there a little bit on the left side. It's good laps for him. Against the best in the business, the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Delaware double file restarts. 75 laps. We've got 72 to go. Ricky Thornton Jr. at the Nutrient Ag Solutions start zone. The Kohler Motorsports 20 RT back underway at Eagle.
Man, a good restart for the 58. At least it looked that way of Garrett Alberson. He's going to try to get that high side momentum going over in turns 1 and 2. It's a longer way around the racetrack, obviously, but man, he can get a good run coming off those corners. Tyler Bruning looking to follow suit as well. RT out front, still 2x2x2 through the field.
Now they were side to side right there at the line, and they're still side to side at a turn 2. Alberson has the spot now. Davenport back on the bottom. Thornton continues to lead. Tyler Bruning 5th. Shepard runs 4th. Moran 6th. Right there, and Alberson still has a good race there. Into turn 1, a long way to go as Davenport will slide in front of him. Crossover move by Garrett Alberson.
Yeah, Davenport slipped up maybe just a little more than what he wanted to or thought he was going to there coming off the corner. They'll crisscross once again down in turns 3 and 4. Jonathan Davenport officially in that second spot, that time by at the scoring loop.
Here comes Shepard in 1, Bruning in 16, the Goldbeard in 5th, Ferguson, Moran, Bronson 8th. 9th is Overton, 10th runs the South Dakota driver, Blair Nodorf.
Tyler Bruning may not be done yet. He's going down to the inside and going to grab that 4th spot away from Brandon Shepard, officially that time by at the line. Tyler Bruning looking good in the 16, James. He's going to roll the middle through turns 3 and 4. Garrett Alberson up high. Devin Moran on the bottom behind them. 3 distinct lines here at Eagle Raceway tonight.
Devin Moran now. He's had some tough qualifying times, some tough heat races this week. Dropped to 3rd in the points. He came into this weekend 2nd. Right now, he is trying to roll up there into the top 5, and he does around Brandon Shepard. 9 laps in the record books here tonight.
And Brandon Overton down to the inside as well in that Heartbeat Hot Sauce Longhorn Factory team number 76 is the inside groove right now. You know, I thought there the first couple laps, the outside was the place to be. Now it looks like maybe the inside was the place to be. You're going to see that change throughout the course of this 75 lapper, James. A lot of drivers talk about what a streaky racetrack this place is.
Started out maybe a little slimy there on the bottom. Here comes Overton. Anthony Burrows, the crew chief on that car, in turn number 1 for Jason and Scott Riggs. Now Shepard back to 7th. Tad Pospischel, by the way, has moved into 10th in the 04 car. Last night he started on the pole. He's up from 13th, Dustin.
James, don't look now, but the battle for the lead is just about to pick up as Jonathan Davenport drives into your living room as he has closed a nearly 1.5-second gap that Ricky Thornton Jr. had. Ricky Thornton Jr. closing in on the back end of the field as well. Here comes the fast 49 on the outside, 20 RT on the inside. That's 1 and 2 going at it for the race lead, this time by 14 laps in the books.
1 and 2 in the race, 1 and 2 in the points. Again, Davenport trying to take the points lead heading to the Show Me 100. Thornton will slide up in front of Spencer Hughes. That was close. Gives him a little breathing room. 14 laps scored. Davenport bounces through the bottom. Thornton still leads. He's led from the start of this race so far.
And those two drivers, James, they got about 2.5 seconds over the battle for the 3rd spot between Garrett Alberson and Tyler Bruning. That's the battle on the right side of your screen, and Devin Moran now rounds out the top 5. He's right behind him as well. Battle for the lead on the left, James. Here comes Jonathan Davenport.
Battles all over the track. Thornton way up top side. Now Davenport gets a bite down through the middle. He'll try to pull even into turn 3 as they work lap 17. Thornton still has the advantage, barely by about a half a car length into turn 1.
Jonathan Davenport will drive that 49 down in deep, but he stays on the bottom of the racetrack. Good clean racing at the front of the field. Behind them, still going at it, 3 cars for the 2nd or for the 3rd spot as well. My goodness, we need the quadruple box here tonight, James. There it is, double it up, baby. Devin Moran has worked his way around Tyler Bruning. That's on the right side of your screen. That's Garrett Alberson 3rd, Moran 4th, Bruning 5th, and that 20 RT trying to slice his way through the back of the field, but the back of the field side by side in front of the 20 RT.
Dylan Thornton did call it a night with 3 laps scored, so we still have 23 of the 24 starters left, 19 complete. Thornton there onto the outside of Dylan Silman. Davenport down to the bottom again. Alberson 3rd, Moran 4th, Bruning 5th, Overton 6th. Then it's Shepard, Bronson, Ferguson. Pospischel remains in 10th. Clayton Stuckey, good run for him at 11th.
Boy, I tell you what, Ricky Thornton Jr., he tried or maybe thought about clearing the 18 of Chase Younghands right there, just couldn't quite do it. Now he does it. He's got, and right like that, 0.4 of a second between the lead duo, but 2 lap cars between Ricky Thornton Jr. and Jonathan Davenport. And you're going to see that lead for the 20RT stretch out just a little bit right here as Davenport is going to maneuver around Dylan Silman, and now he'll try to find a way around the 18 of Chase Younghands.
This race paid $2,000 to start here tonight. $150,000 total purse right now as Thornton stretches it out. 58 cars started on the pole. Garrett Albertson, the Roberts Racing cars. We scored lap 23 right there in the third spot. Devin Moran behind him, DJ in fourth.
Yeah, Devin Moran runs in the fourth spot, and Tyler Bruning just behind them. Now rounds out your top 5 cars. 23 laps scored in this race.
Long way to go. It's 1 second. The lead for Thornton is right there. Moran makes the move. Devin Moran will make the move to third. Not official yet till he comes across the next lap complete. 1 caution flag so far here in this first part of the race. There's Moran. He is about 3 seconds behind Thornton, as right now your leaders coming off of turn 4, RTJ.
James, how about your Hoker Trucking Hard Charger right now? Running in the 10th position is the 14S of Colin Weinbarger. A solid run for the Corbett Oregon driver. And look at that line he's running. Way on the outside of this racetrack. Look at him. I mean, he's going up even a little higher. Oh, he slips up a little bit that time. Commentators curse on Colin Weinbarger, but he's up 7 spots right now, rounding out the top 10, trying to go to 9th, trying to find a way around Carson Ferguson.
Nearly ended up in Omaha. Now 127. Got a good run for him. Out at 2 down the back straightaway. Thornton still leads 1.7. You're not missing anything up front. As you see the traffic as he's gotten around the 60 of Ebert and the 76 of Nodorf. Several car lengths back is Davenport. Devin Moran third, Garrett Albertson fourth, Tyler Bruning is in the 5th spot in 16. There's the battle here between 99 and 58.
Yeah, Devin Moran was able to work by Garrett Albertson, as we mentioned a few laps ago, but Garrett Albertson not letting him get too far away. As a matter of fact, that driver out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, looking down to the inside of the Buckeye State native Devin Moran. Moran trying to find a way around the lap car of Dylan Silman. He'll go to the outside of him at the front of the field. Ricky Thornton Jr. has picked up that extreme high side, or had picked up that extreme high side that we just saw Colin Weinbarger running. James, that outside groove, especially coming off turn 4 and 2, has pushed way to the outside of the racetrack.
As he stretches it out, it's 1.3 seconds. Davenport there. They have the lap car of Dan Ebert behind between them, and now we got 3 cars in front of your leader, including the big perm Dalton Wilson. Ricky goes to the bottom. Behind the 15, the Clayton Stuckey in right there. Oh man, got into the back of
Jesse Saubing.
Jesse Saubing. Was there contact with the 20? Yes, they're looking at the door. He got into the side of the 20 RT.
It's caved in, didn't look like it's running any tires, at least right now, but that's certainly something to keep an eye on, and allow Jonathan Davenport to cut 3/10 off of Ricky Thornton Jr.'s lead. This lead duo, James, by the way, they're about 3 seconds ahead of that battle that we saw a few laps ago for the 3rd spot between Devin Moran and Garrett Albertson. Jonathan Davenport takes another 3/10 off of Ricky Thornton Jr.'s lead, and you got a high-speed game of cat and mouse going on here at Eagle through the back of the field. And a Coleman Farms Racing caution as Dylan Silman has gone around, and that will slow the pace with 34 laps in the books, 41 laps remaining here at Eagle. Back here at Eagle Raceway, Dylan Silman lost the tail end of the S&S Welding number 35D, and that is what has slowed the pace. And with 41 laps to go, there's a good look at the damage on the right side of Ricky Thornton Jr.'s 20 RT, James, as he tried to work his way through the back of the field, made contact. A couple cars made contact in front of him, and the 20 RT had nowhere to go, and he made contact with them. And it looks like that door has caved in pretty good, but it also looks like that maybe it is out of harm's way for the time being.
Well, guess who's moved into the Hoker Trucking Hard Charger of the race so far?
Does his name rhyme with Hudson O'Neal?
Yes, it does. He started 23rd. He's up to 12th right now after 34 laps. So we still have 43 laps remaining. Young Hands back to the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. He may be done for the night. So we've got 34 complete. We'll see what happened here. They were trying to lap, what was it? Dalton Wilson, who's running 14th.
There's Clay Stuckey in the 15.
Saubing.
Yeah, there's Saubing. Oh, I see. Yeah, Jesse Saubing, I don't know if he slipped up or Dalton Wilson just on that extreme high line had a head full of steam. But the nose of the 18D got up underneath the rear decking of the 18S, and that's what sent Saubing down into the 20RT of Ricky Thornton Jr. What do you think the pucker factor was behind the driver's seat there?
Good job by our flow crew, the Dave Warren Power Sports replay. All right, Delaware double file restarts, 34 complete. Thornton, Davenport, Moran, Alberson, Bruning, your top 5 here at Eagle. Nutrient Solutions restart zone back underway, Dustin.
And that gap, or that caution flag rather, James, erases a ginormous gap. It was 3.2 seconds the lead duo Thornton and Davenport had over Moran, Alberson, and Bruning. We'll see if those guys or anyone else is able to hang with them. And the 20RT gets a little high that time, coming off corner 4. Here comes the fast 49.
They have a lead change. We do. It's not official till they get to the line. Thornton battle back there, goes side by side into 3. Ricky's going to throw the slider back on JD, way up the track, but Jonathan Davenport may take the lead at the line by a nose.
By .015, it was Davenport. Had to hold my breath and wait for that one. My goodness, Jonathan Davenport to the race lead. He's leading for the first time here tonight. Lap and out, the 20RT back down to the inside.
Oh my baby. I may run out of ink tonight. And the Hellraiser Jack's halfway mark is coming up. Next time around, it's Thornton Davenport, a good shootout here. Moran, Alberson, Bruning, your top 5 off of turn 4.
Jonathan Davenport trying to reel back in your race leader, Ricky Thornton Jr. Look at Devin Moran. Moran's gone down to the inside now. That Roger Sellers Double Down Motorsports entry as he's trying to find a way around the fast 49 of Jonathan Davenport. Is that high side? As it gets too high coming off the corner seams, that low groove could be the place to be. And hey, no surprise, Rocket 1 Brandon Shepard trying to tiptoe around the top.
Trying to keep the tires under tonight right there. He's got a decision to make. Does he go to the middle? And Alberson and Bruning. Shepard is 6th, Overton 7th, Bronson 8th, O'Neill is up to 9th, Colin Weinbarger is 10th. It's 7/10 of a second, 40 down, still 35 to go here in this 75 lapper, and a good race here.
Look at this.
Here comes Bruning. They're going to go side by side down the main straightaway by a nose. Alberson still has the 4th spot.
4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. Throw them all in there. Here comes Bruning down to the inside. He is going to try to take that 4th spot away right here from Garrett Alberson.
No.
Oh, man, things getting dicey between the 76 and the Rocket 1. Oh, man.
Here comes Bruning, or Bronson. Shepard is way up top side. Now he'll go through the middle between Bronson and Overton. The Brandon's going at it. Here comes O'Neill. Off at turn 4, Colin Weinbarger is still the tip of the cap to him in 10th.
Give me all the Brandons. Brandon Overton, Brandon Shepard, and Brandon Florida's Kyle Bronson, right? Hudson O'Neill, James continuing his march through the field in the 71. Right now, the Hooker Trucking Hard Charger, he started 20-30s up 14 spots to 9th, trying to make it 8th.
He got 2nd here last night, down the back straightaway. It's still Bronson and O'Neill. That is 8th and 9th. Weinbarger, Ferguson, Ebert, Pospischel, and we've got a Coleman Farms Racing caution for Dalton Wilson.
He's got damage on the right rear of that race car, and that's going to slow the pace with 44 laps in the books, 31 laps remaining, and it's not for a flat. He's just got a ton of damage on the right rear of that race car, and his quarter panel has disappeared into thin air. 31 laps to go here at Eagle Raceway. It's the Malvern Bank High Bank Heist. Dalton Wilson coming to the attention of his crew back in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. And is what has brought out the Coleman Farms Racing caution for just the
Third time.
The third time with that early one. Third time here tonight.
So Big Perm was running. He was the last car on the lead lap, by the way, in 16th. And he's going to quickly come to the attention of Dean Bowe and his crew chief back out on the track. So 44 in. Well, Davenport did lead 1 lap. Down to you, Ben.
Yeah, what's interesting about that, Jonathan Davenport, again, they all have the Hoosier NLMT4 on the right rear, but Davenport's got 3s on the right front, the left rear, and the left front. And it's interesting, he got a better restart than Ricky Thornton Jr. did, but then after a lap, Thornton took off. You would expect Thornton to get a better restart. We'll see what happens this time. Devin Moran has come to life in this one as well, up to third. And you guys talked about Hudson O'Neal right now, the Oprah Trucking hard charger into the top 10.
Moran started in 8th in that Roger Sellers Double Down Motorsports car. He'll be on the restart. Davenport picks the top, then Alberson, Bruning, Overton, Shepard, Bronson, O'Neal, Weinbarger, and Ferguson.
Good stuff.
Still 31 laps to go.
Good stuff. Eagle is good tonight, man.
Top 3 in the points, first, second, and third. Alberson is 4th in points.
I'm just going to say he's 5th. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Brandon Shepard.
Yeah, those guys, like Overton, Shepard, O'Neal trying to get into that top 4.
Absolutely. Shep right now comes into this event 7th, but coming into the race, as we saw earlier, just 130 points separating 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, the series point standings. 44 laps in the books, James. 31 laps to go, and Ricky Thornton Jr. leads him back to the green in the New Green Ag Solutions starting zone.
See Moran, can he hold into the second spot? He'll go down, he'll slide up. He'll leave Davenport plenty of room. Davenport back in the spot, Bruning in 4th. Devin will throw it in on the bottom. Davenport has the advantage up top as Thornton leads into turn number 1. In car number 20, RT the left, 30 laps to go. Well, now 29 to go this time around.
That's good math right there. Nice job. Brandon Overton's worked his way into the top 5 that last time by. Tyler Bruning trying to take that 5th spot back there on your screen, or the 4th spot back rather, and he'll do so. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th now on the screen in front of you, and this happens about 0.8 of a second behind the race leader, Ricky Thornton Jr., who continues to run the very outside of the racetrack. The 49 on the very outside, and now Devin Moran, who had been rolling the middle, he goes to the outside as well. But James, we have another Coleman Farms Racing caution with 47 laps scored, 28 laps to go here tonight. Debris on the track. The end of the back straightaway going into turn 3 and 4. What is that? Is that your license plate off your car? It is somebody's sheet metal.
All right, we got 47 in the books. Jackson Dietz down there picks that up. Thornton, Davenport, Moran, Bruning, Overton now your top 5. Then Shepard, Alberson, Bronson, O'Neal, Weinbarger. How about Colin Weinbarger? You talked about him all week long, running against the best of the businesses. Alberson lost part of, right there.
Yeah.
You've seen a few of those tonight. Dalton Wilson.
Well, and that, what you see hanging off the back, you know what they call that right there? That is another potential caution, is what that is.
Well, they're not allowed to cut it off. No official can do that, so. Yes, Ben.
I was going to say, what you're seeing at a lot of these guys, that line off of 4 has gone all the way to the concrete. And by the way, the top of the racetrack looks just like the concrete because they're both coated in mud. And I've seen a lot of cars go up there. And you're right, that's not going to be the last one to knock that right rear quarter panel off on the exit of 4.
Exactly right, Ben. 47 laps in the books, 28 laps to go. Ricky Thornton Jr. looking for another $50,000 payday. Jonathan Davenport chooses the outside lane on this Delaware double file restart. Green flag waves off corner number 4.
Moran gets that bite to the bottom, cuts right in front of Davenport. Moran trying to hold on to second. They squeeze up the top. Davenport gives him room. Moran the second. Not official till they cross the line. And looks like he may have him this time. And Devin Moran, who started in 8th, is now 2nd with 48 complete.
See if he's got anything for your race leader. Meanwhile, Brandon Overton has worked his way back into the 4th spot, back around the 16 of Tyler Bruning. Rocket 1 running in 6th. Garrett Alberson's fallen back to 7th, and he'll fall back more because Hudson O'Neal now from 23rd up to 7th, this time by the stripe.
It's 1 second the lead for Ricky Thornton Jr. There's the battle there between the 1 of Shepard and the 71 of O'Neal. 50 laps complete, 25 to go. Thornton has led all but 1 lap here tonight.
Brandon Overton getting that high side going again. I tell you what, the guys that are good up high, James, they're good up high. The guys that are good down low, they're really good down low. I don't know that you're going to see the 16 ripping the top side of this racetrack. Likewise, I don't think you're going to see the 20 RT just puttering around the bottom of the speedway as well. These guys got these cars set up exactly where they need them to, and they're coming around next time by for 23 laps to go.
Maintain that 1 second advantage. 51 complete, now 52 scored. 1.1. Tyler Bruning on the bottom of Brandon Overton, out at 2. Overton bumps the guardrail, still rolling. He's in 4th. Bruning 5th, Shepard 6th, O'Neill 7th, Bronson 8th, Weinbarger 9th, Garrett Alberson back to 10th in car 58.
Again, want to send a big shout out to Colin Weinbarger, who's doing a tremendous job against the best drivers in the country. He started 17th, James, and has worked his way up to 9th. A great run for the driver that really and truly has limited starts in an open super late model. 15 wins across 3 divisions 1 year ago for the Corbett, Oregon native.
Ricky Thorne Jr., the misfortune last night, got into the front stretch wall, broke the steering rack. Battle back there as O'Neill has gotten around Shepard. So O'Neill 23rd to 6th in car 71. We have 20 laps to go here tonight.
20 laps remaining in this. We'll see if Ricky Thornton Jr. can hang on. He's got his biggest lead of the race so far, James, at 1.5 seconds over Devin Moran. Devin Moran continues to keep Jonathan Davenport behind him. As a matter of fact, Dev has actually put a little bit of gap between himself and that battle that's on your screen between the 49, the 16, and the 76. Side by side, these two guys have been side by side the last several laps. Bruning on the inside, Overton on the outside, battling for position number 4.
And they're going to make a big move into that 4th spot right now. Alberson had it before tonight, but he had about 4 other drivers that wanted that coveted 4th and final spot. Ted Pospischel out of the race. So Dylan Thornton is out. Hughes, Young Hands, Sobbing, Silman, Nodorf, and Pospischel. We still should have 17 cars left on the racetrack.
You just saw 3 different lines being used right there. Jonathan Davenport, Devin Moran has started to close a little bit of that gap between himself and Ricky Thornton Jr. It was a 1.5 second advantage at its peak. Dev has taken 3/10 off that lead, and there you see the gap down the back straightaway. Ricky Thornton Jr., he hit one of those ruts in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Is the 99 able to take another 10th off of it this time by at the stripe? He does. Another 10th taken off the lead. 15 to go for Ricky Thornton Jr.
Pick up the tail of the field. Donna McIntosh tied for the Royal Riley Auto Parts Rookie of the Year chase. Final car on the lead lap in 17th. This thing stays green. Moran is pedaling hard. There's still 14 to go as they've cleared McIntosh, and they'll clear Pennsylvania's Corey Lawler.
I tell you what, like an accordion, right? Devin Moran's able to close a couple tenths. Ricky Thornton Jr. is able to gain a couple tenths. I've been checking out the times here the last couple times by, holding steady right now, anywhere from 1 to 1.2 seconds, the 20 RT over the 99 as they work their way around 15th place Corey Lawler in the 93.
Turn number 1, Ricky Thornton Jr. looking for his 51st career win. He's cut it down to 9/10 of a second. Moran trying to stay out the guardrail in 2, down the back straightaway. They're both running the same line, so if he catches him, see what happens here as they head down the main straightaway. We know what happened last Saturday at Fairbury. We had a late race caution, and right now it's back to 1.1 as he goes behind the 15 of Clayton Stuckey.
It's going to get interesting here because the 18D of Dalton Wilson is running that exact same high line as your leader right there, Ricky Thornton Jr. So RTJ is going to have a decision to make, and he is not, because we have got a Coleman Farms Racing caution, and that will give Ricky Thornton Jr. a clean racetrack in front of him with 11 laps to go here tonight in Eagle Raceway in Eagle, Nebraska. Caution flag flies for debris on the racetrack. That's a brace. It looks like a brace that keeps the quarter panel out, away, or off the frame of the race car. You gotta wonder if maybe, you don't want to assume, but remember the 58 of Garrett Alberson had a brace dangling off. So Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series official is going to pick that up. Somebody ran over it too. That will absolutely cut a tire down.
11 laps to go. Should have a Delaware double file restart, right, Dustin?
Yes.
Get the lap. Yeah, 65. Would it be lap
65? We're on 64.
Yep. So Thornton, Moran, Davenport, Overton, Bruning, your top 5. Then O'Neill from 23rd to 6th. Shepard, Weinbarger, Alberson, Bronson 10th. Ebert, Ferguson, Wilson, Stuckey, all on the lead laps. Clayton runs 14th in the Black Diamond 15.
It's a good run for him. And Dalton Wilson so far as well. You'd mentioned in the 13th, he's done just enough, right, to keep that Ratliff Racing 18D on the lead lap here.
All right, 11 to go. I'm not sure. I mean, they were at the tail end of the field. Moran was cut it down a little bit, but we're going to see what he's going to pick the bottom.
He chose the bottom, which
he did last time. And
bingo. Yep.
Well, Davenport picked the top. Devin came down low. There was enough moisture down there to get the grip. Okay, let's see what Overton, Bruning, O'Neill, Shepard has. For Thornton, he's led all but one lap on the Nutrient Solutions restart zone. Davenport, much better restart this time, dusted into one.
You'll see how deep the 99 can drive it in if he's able to slide up in front of the 49. Look out, here's a golden beard trying to toss some facial hair into the mix as well. Tyler Bruning in the 16 is right there. Davenport with the run on the high side. He's going to reclaim that second spot away from Devin Moran. Here comes Tyler Bruning down to the inside. He's trying to take third away from Devin Moran. He does it momentarily down the backstretch. Coming around this time to 9 laps to go.
Here comes Brandon Overton now, and he restarts from here on out. It'll be single file into one. Tyler Bruning's been married to that bottom the entire race so far. He's made it work down the back straightaway. Bruning did start 5th, but he's been in the top 5 the whole race. Right now, he is in 4th. Moran trying to get it back. He will. Down the main straightaway, Grant still 3rd. It's still Thornton, 1.3 the lead over Davenport, who got a little high there in turn 2. There isn't much left up there, is there?
No, there sure is. And RTJ is really good on these restarts, but to the point that you just made, there is not a lot left. All it takes is one crack of the wall, and something can go south in a hurry. And let's not forget, Ricky Thornton Jr.'s got that damage on the right side of the race car as well. As they come around this time, James, there will be 6 laps to go for the defending series champ.
Well, that Wilson sopping deal, he's lucky he didn't get into the tire, but right now, there is the battle back here between Doverton and O'Neill. That's for a top 5 spot. Side by side in front of them, Moran and Bruning. Ricky Thornton Jr., 1.8 the advantage with 5 laps to go.
Remember what happened to Ricky Thornton Jr. one night ago, James? He got too high. Coming off corner number 40, just about did right there. Coming off turn 2 as well. He got too high last night. Coming off turn 4, tagged the wall. He spun the car and it ended his night. He was running second.
He took 100% blame for it himself, as you see the battle back here between Overton and O'Neill. Ricky Thornton Jr., he'll have 3 laps to go. Well, we saw him the other night get up on top of the guardrail, basically, with the quarter panel here on Thursday night. And right now, he has 3 laps to go for a $50,000 payday here at Eagle Raceway.
He's throwing caution to the wind here, right? He's still driving that thing for all it is worth. Just see just how high he gets and how close he gets. Last night, that was a different day of racing. James, 2 laps to go. The 20 RT out front by 2.2 seconds over Jonathan Davenport.
He doesn't know how to slow down, does he? He's just going to keep his foot into it. They'll have the Barron's performance. 1 lap to go for Ricky Thornton Jr.
Great look there at the speed shot. RTJ, defending series champ, stretching out his advantage in the closing stages of this one. As he goes through turns 3 and 4 for the final time, the Malvern Bank High Bank heist goes to Ricky Thornton Jr. Second, the Jonathan Davenport. Third, Devin Moran. Fourth is Tyler Bruning, and 5th will be Brandon Overton. Unofficially from 23rd to 6th, Hudson O'Neill. Brandon Shepard 7th. Garrett Alberson 8th. Colin Weinbarger, congratulations, young man. A great job. He finishes 9th. And Kyle Bronson unofficially rounds out the top 10 here this evening. It's Clay Stuckey 11th, Donald McIntosh 12th, Dan Ebert 13th, Dalton Wilson 14th, and Carson Ferguson will unofficially round out your lead lap cars in the 15th position. So he's got to cross the scales and make his way to the UNOH Tech area. But
how about the crew?
How about the crew?
I mean, Ricky calls a lot of the shots. There's Nick Hardy, Skylar Cooper, Zach Fields, who's been around a while. But Thornton makes most of the calls on that Bobby and Jessica Kohler car, the champion last year, the current points leader, heading into the Show Me 100.
Yeah,
and that battle for 4th is going to be something else, because Overton and O'Neill is going to gain more points, and Shepard's going to gain on Garrett Alberson, who finished 8th here tonight. So 17 drivers finished the race here at Eagle.
That special autism awareness wrap on the Bobby and Jessica Kohler-owned Longhorn, the Ultimate Towing and Recovery, Elite Ready Mix, Capital Waste Certified Inspection Services, Coltman Farms, Hooker Trucking, Knights Companies, 20 RT of Chandler, Arizona's Ricky Thornton Jr., and he is awaiting. He's behind a long line of race cars there to make his way into the UNOH Tech and Scale area here tonight at Eagle Raceway. Ricky Thornton Jr. getting thumbs up from crew members down there. Cole Perrine from the 49 team checking out the tires on that race car, giving a 20 RT a thumbs up, talking to Nick Carty down there with the Bobby and Jessica Kohler Motorsports team. Zach Friel's down there.
Why not? It's already dented up, right? just throw a fist on it.
Oh, man.
An open fist. Well, Cole Perrine, by the way, still has his race cars, right? So
he does.
He might hit an off weekend here and get some racing in the Mid-Ohio Valley area where he's from, Lowell, Ohio. It's like a wedding reception line down there at the UNOH scales where it's like one by one. Congratulations. Look at the door. Look how close it came to the tire.
Yeah. Well, and the way these cars hunch over now as well, you know, when you obviously, the way the bodies are built in these race cars, they're designed, I mean, as you can obviously see, and most folks know, they're designed to kind of roll over on that right rear. But when you sucker punch in the door like that, I mean, I really, truly, I mean, you do, man. You worry about that damage when it's you know, dented in like that, coming down and cutting that right rear tire.
I think it was a harder hit from Zach Muhammad Ali Frields right there. Holy cow. Move over Smoking Joe Frazier.
Hey, the short ones are always the wiry ones, man. You got to watch out for them for sure. Ricky Thornton Jr. is making his way into the UNOH Tech and Scale area. And as long as he clears, he's going to roll back around here to the front side and to Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series Victory Lane.
More confetti candy. There they are. The lower right of the screen. For They're getting fired up, folks.
You ever eaten confetti?
No.
I like confetti cake.
I would say not out of a cannon. Well, guys, it is official. Your winner here tonight, $50,000, the Malvern Bank High Bank Heist, Ricky Thornton Jr. He clears the UNOH scales. He will join me in Lucas Oil Victory Lane, a VLAN feature winner for the 9th time this year with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. His 51st career win, 2nd win of the week, 13 wins across multiple divisions this year. And RTJ led all but one lap here tonight. And I think the crew is facilitating him coming down on maybe the side that isn't dented in. And Ricky said, you know what? Imperfections are beautiful. He's going to pull in, and it's going to be wrinkled on the right side. It's not going to matter, as Thornton, the Midwest Sheet Metal point leader, will add to his advantage here tonight with a $50,000 win from a total purse of over $150,000. Richest dirt late model race in the history of Eagle Raceway. Over $245,000 paid out in the past 3 days. And in first place money, $60,000 plus of that's going to head back to the Arizona native Ricky Thornton Jr. and the Bobby and Jessica Kohler number 20 RT going after back-to-back Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series titles. And he's hitting his strides right now. The boys are down there in victory lane. The Sunoco checkered flag is down there as Ricky prepares to climb out of this race car on the top of the number 20 RT. $50,000 to the good. His crown jewel season coming to life. And now Ricky Thornton Jr. coming to life out of the race car. Race fans, your winner tonight, Ricky Thornton Jr. The Malvern Bank High Bank Heist goes to RTJ. The confetti's flying. The kids are happy. And we're going to talk to Ricky about this one. Only one lap. He did not lead tonight. And once he got out front late, he drove away from him. The fireworks go off. Ricky, the right side of the race car, man, lay it on me. Let's get in front of it here. Talk to me about it. Were you concerned at all after the damage and the contact with sobbing?
Yeah, I was big time. Anytime you can look over and you can see the decks knocked up, it's not good. Luckily, we got these 5-star plastic right sides on, so I wasn't worried about getting a flat as long as our angle iron or something crazy like that wasn't in the tire. But what a racetrack. I tried to slow down a couple times and about wrecked and everything else. Like, man, you know what? I'm just going to run as hard as I can, and if I wreck, I wreck. If not, at least I'm trying.
You went softer on other guys on the diagonals on the right front and left rear. Did you have any concern late about how much tire wear you might or might not have?
Yes and no. I knew right away when we were packing the track in that it was like not choppy, but like going to be super aggressive right at the get-go. So I tried to run as hard as I needed to get past Garrett that first lap, and then I slowed myself way down, just trying to save the left rear. Then there towards the end, I got to Lawler, and he was better than I was around the bottom 1 and 2. And I'm like, man, do I move down or not? And then I really didn't want to yellow. And then of course the yellow came out, so I'm like, man, I really don't know what I'm going to do now. And it worked out for us. This thing's beat to death, but luckily it's to get a new body here next week. And I got to thank all the fans for coming out. It's pretty cool to run in front of so many people. And everyone that stopped by my apparel trailer, thank you guys a ton. I know my wife's been super busy this weekend. So my boys, Zach, Skylar, Nick, they've been busting their butts. It's been a long few weeks, ups and downs, but it's always nice to be able to get a big one.
Back in those IMCA days, would you have ever dreamed you'd roll into Nebraska and win a $50,000 super late model event?
Definitely not, but the nice part is Johnny Jet's here. He was a big contributor to me in my mod days, and fortunate enough to wear a suit that's got his name on it. So hopefully he's going to come down here and get a picture with us. But like I said, I got to thank everyone at Coley Motorsports for working their butt off. Evan, Bryce, KP, Jordan, Evan, back at the shop, just making sure we got the best we can get every time we go run. I know they're both running county line tonight, so hopefully they ran well. Bobby and Jessica, they give us everything we need to come out and perform. Midwest Sheet Metal, Chris, huge supporter of ours. Luckily we get to see him this next week there at Wheatland. Bill Stein. Got a new right rear shock package, and it's pretty good this weekend. So hopefully they'll hit the shelves here pretty soon. But Longhorn Chassis, Hoker Trucking, Coltman Farms, Knight Companies, like I said, all the fans, everyone that gets us up and down the road, and looking forward to seeing you guys here in the future.
Tonight's your winner, Ricky Thornton Jr. DJ James, I'm going to throw it back up top, and then we'll get our second and third place finishers.
All right, Ben, thanks a lot. As Shay and the kids down there celebrating with RTJ, and you can see right there the damage on the right side of that race car after he made contact with the 18 of Jesse Sabing. And Ben Shelton is caught up with your second place finisher and last night's winner, Superman Jonathan Davenport.
Second on the Big River Steel podium tonight, Jonathan Davenport. JD, you led lap 36. What did you need to lead any more after that here tonight?
I don't know. Ricky done a really good job. I just wish the racetrack we could kind of run around the bottom in the middle more, but it was just so cushion dominant. But you know, that's just the way this place is. It was a lot of fun. It's tough, that's for sure. But yeah, I thought right before that caution come out, I started kind of coming off the cushion and running through the middle off a 4 here, and it was pretty good. And then so once we got to sliding each other, that's what I was trying to do, was try to leave again. And I probably should have stayed around the top the last time when he slid me back, but you know, we can always look back and say what we should have done. But anyway, that's probably the only shot I had at him, and we never really got to lap traffic again after that a whole lot. But yeah, he was on a little bit different tires, but I don't think it even mattered. He done a real good job. Devin done a good job. My guys, give me another great car. This is the year of seconds for sure. But you know, I'd rather be second and third. So just thankful for them, and thanks for everything Nutrient Ag Solutions does for us. AC Warranty, Dino Grow Seed, Mark Martin of Automotive, Bobcat of Batesville, Mega Plumbing. I didn't mention them last night. Midwest Sheet Metal, thanks Chris, everything you do for us. VP Fuels, Bilstein Shocks, Longhorn Chassis, Longhorn Dynamics, everybody that's a part of this, can't thank them enough.
Jonathan Davenport second tonight, 2 seconds and a first this week in Nebraska. For Jonathan Davenport, second on the Big River Steel podium. Third tonight on the Big River Steel podium, the Big River Steel number 99. Well, Devin, another night where you were hard charging. It felt like every night this weekend this team made gains, 8th to 3rd tonight. Are you pleased with the final effort?
Yeah. After the week we had, we were struggling, and we just threw some different stuff at it tonight, you know, and felt like we were really, really good, you know. There when I was in second, I felt like I could keep pace with Ricky, but we were kind of just stuck on that top. But all in all, a great effort from my race team, and a good bounce back from the last couple nights we've had.
Devin Moran in the thick of things here in the Big River Steel chase for the championship presented by AARP. He comes home third on the Big River Steel podium. Guys, what a night here at Eagle Raceway.
Well, yeah, Thorne's going to get the big check, but Davenport for second place gets $20,000.
How much do those shoes weigh right there?
I don't know how much money he's going to get, but Moran gets $10,000 for third. Man.
Yeah, Jonathan Davenport, I just quickly checked the My Race Pass app.
Yeah.
Jonathan Davenport, he said this is a year of second-place finishes. Overall, not just in Lucas, but his entire racing season, that was the 10th runner-up finish for Jonathan Davenport this year. Ricky Thornton Jr. getting the win. James, let's go ahead and take a look at your race recap and see how we get to this point.
They'll have that door for sale at Wheatland, right, at the souvenir trailer, I'm sure. Be a lot of takers for that. There you see a huge crowd on in here tonight, the biggest late model race in the history of this racetrack that is 62 years old. Thornton got the lead early on, led all but one lap, and that was what, back on lap 36.
Yeah. Jonathan Davenport was right there on the top three the entire race. Devin Moran, as you heard earlier, with his best finish of the week in that 99. The 20RT was the driver they're all chasing, and he'll be the first to tell you he caught a couple of timely cautions as well. That one right there, though, almost untimely for him.
Yeah, that could have cost him a lot there. Could have cost him a right rear tires. You see the move for the lead from Davenport. Coming off of turn number 4, and then Thornton gets him back at the Hellraiser Jack's halfway mark, and from then on it was all she wrote. 1.8 seconds. Moran tried to make it close there, but caution there. He had to, on this restart, Davenport got the restart right here that he needed in the 1.
Yeah, he sure did. As you see the sparklers and snakes coming off the corner. And Jonathan Davenport right there got that run that he needed to get that second spot. But it still wasn't enough to catch the 20RT of Ricky Thornton Jr. as the defending series champ. Gets a $50,000 win here tonight. And you ask about the crowd here at Eagle. That right there tells the story. And absolutely a massive crowd here tonight at the Eagle Raceway. And Ben Shelton, that is the exclamation point on the 2025 running of the Malvern Bank High Bank Heist.
Yeah, we had a little bit of everything from the track, the weather, but we had some amazing fans, great racing. I think the big storyline as we leave, the Midwest Sheet Metal point leader, Ricky Thornton Jr., adds to that advantage, but not by much, because second in the points, Jonathan Davenport, he comes home second. Third in the points, Devin Moran comes home in third. Guys, right now, 3 guys head and shoulders above everybody else. The battle for fourth is going to be a good one. It's time to head to the Show Me 100.
James?
Hey, a tip of the cap to Tyler Bruning. He comes home in 4th for the Iowa driver, got his first national touring victory back in January. He comes home in 4th. And how about Colin Weinbarger? Against the best in the business. He had never run a Lucas Oil race till a couple of days ago. Comes home in 9th. Congratulations to him.
Absolutely. Well, it was a great, great weekend here in the state of Nebraska. We kicked it off with a complete racing program on Thursday. Then we did it all again on Friday. And we raced for $50,000 here tonight in front of an outstanding crowd. The Race Saver Sprints, well, they had some tumbles of their own. But when all was said and done here tonight, the money was tumbling back to Chandler, Arizona, and Ricky Thornton Jr. as he got the win here tonight at Eagle Raceway. On behalf of Ben Shelton and James Essex, this is Dustin Jarrett. We'll see you next time.